Hello there, Tim Mayfield here, sporting a relatively new haircut. Oh, the lushness of Trim Dependence Day, the 4th of July. Hope you're well and that you stay well. I don't know about you, but it often seems to me as if the world in which we live can feel like a meaningless jumble sometimes. On the one hand, really good people plugging away, doing good things, and on the other hand, genuinely wicked people plugging away, doing genuinely wicked things. And it seems to me that whatever human experience or endeavour there is, you always get those two different kinds of people. And the pandemic has been no different. On the one hand, you've got Captain Tom Moore, soon to become Colonel Sir Tom Moore, capturing the nation's imagination with his Zimmer frame marathon around his garden and all that money he raised for the NHS. And on the other hand, you've got appalling stories of people smuggling drugs into the country in boxes labelled PPE, do not open. I heard the other day about people who were preying on the elderly, phoning them up, pretending to be from Test and Trace, telling them that they'd got a test, they needed to pay for it, and could they please give them their bank details. I just wonder, what appropriate sanction is there for the kind of person who hides behind a global pandemic of a potentially fatal disease to prey on the elderly and the vulnerable? Well, Jesus tells us a story that can perhaps help to get us a handle on things like that. In the story, a farmer sows good seed in their field, looking to develop a good crop of good wheat to feed and nourish other people. It's a good thing that they're doing. And then, in the dead of night, an enemy, we're not told why, creeps into the field and sows nasty weeds among the good and nourishing wheat. And to begin with, no one notices the difference. It all grows together, the wheat and the weeds. But gradually, the difference becomes clear, and it's too clear to miss. Something's gone badly wrong with this field. You've got good wheat, yes, but you've also got horrible spiky weeds that are going to be no good to anybody growing alongside the wheat. And the farm labourers say to the farmer, well, look, shall we go through the field and uproot all of these horrible, nasty, spiky weeds? And the farmer says, no, don't do that, because you might damage the crop. I know what we'll do. We'll wait until harvest time. And at harvest time, we'll separate them out. We'll harvest it all, and we'll take the wheat into barns to feed hungry people. And the weeds, well, they're useless to man the beast. We'll just have to burn those. And there are various things that we can draw from Jesus' parable. One of them is that there is a God of justice who will not be mocked, who sees those people preying on the elderly and the vulnerable during a time of COVID-19. Give us your bank details, and won't be mocked. Yes, the time will come. We might have to wait for that time, but a God of justice and of love will make sure that at the harvest time, justice is done. That's the first thing to take from Jesus' story. Justice will be done at the harvest time. But maybe Too often in this short thought so far, I've been thinking about other people. I think the story also asks me a question, and it asks you a question. It was a while till I spotted it, but then I spotted that the reason the farmer gives for not uprooting the weeds is he says, let them both grow together until the harvest, and then we'll sort it out. Let them both grow. The reason why, according to Jesus, the harvest is delayed is to give me time to grow in the things of God and to give you time to grow in the things of God. Yes, the wheat and the weeds are growing together, but I'd rather grow in the things of God and the things of love than the things that stand in the way of God and of God's love. So the story asks us a question. The harvest is delayed to give us time to grow. So are we growing? Now, God, in his love, wouldn't expect someone who was at point D on their journey to jump straight to point Q. It can't work like that, and it doesn't work like that. God is love, and God loves organic things that grow naturally and healthily. So I guess for all of us, the question for reflection is, if I've reached point D on my journey of faith, what would it look like to step forward to point E? If I'm at point G on my journey, what would it take, what would it look like to step forward to point H? If I'm at M, what does one step forward to N look like? So a story that Jesus tells, yes, it is about the world we live in with its jumble of different kinds of people, and it calls me to recommit myself to being nourishing grain in God's world, not the horrible, nasty, spiky, useless weeds. It encourages me with the thought that there is a God of justice who is watching and waiting and will not be mocked. But perhaps most importantly, it underlines for me that I have been given time in which to grow in the things of God. Let's use that time wisely and well as we look to be nourishing grain, even in a time of pandemic. God bless you. Go well, stay well, be like the nourishing, wholesome wheat. And I'll do the same if I can. Bye for now.